let's talk splatters. Splatters are one of my favorite ways to do that watercolory effect on a layout. You can add just one color. You can add a whole bunch of colors. You can have really big splatters or a whole bunch of little ones. So I thought it would be fun and good to show you guys just a little bit of how different ways I like to do a splatter. So I'm going to take one of my favorite ways to get a really nice splatter. I have some water here off to the side and a paper towel, because you will want to, in between each color, you're going to want to try to change up your your paintbrush and stuff. So there are quite a few ways. So I'm going to use some of this distress spray. This is a stain and it is in a blue. So my paint, first, let's talk about paintbrushes real quick. I have a really nice big paintbrush that has a really big end that you use to do the watercolor with. And this paintbrush I use just for paint, like watercolor paint. I don't use acrylic on it, and that will help. And also when I dry it, I just kind of make sure I put it back in a point, and that helps keep it that nice shape. I also have some other ones that are a little bit smaller of a size, and these will just get you a different size splatter. A lot of times I like to use this one, but I really like to use the big one because I like to get nice and big ones. But so I will put it right into the color that is in the thing. And I just kind of mix it around, and then when I take it out, you can see that it's already starting to get drippy. And then you just find a spot and you let it fall from high up. As you can see, my brush is quite high, and then it's going to give it a nice big drop. If you do it lower, it will be a smaller drop, but this also can help you get that nice splat that you will get. So I did that blue. I thought it would be fun to do some other colors that are like similar to it. So I think I'm going to get this this colorings also and use it, and then we're going to use one of the droppers from the concentrated watercolor, because I feel like that also can give you a really nice drop. I'm actually thinking I'm going to get a smaller one. So this is the medium size one. And I like to kind of move it around quite a bit and just check it in the bottle to see if it's gonna come off easily. And then you can just put it up high. And as you can see, even this medium sized one gives you pretty good drops. Whoop. Now that one hit the blue, which actually that looks really cool. And then sometimes when I'm doing smaller ones, I'll just take it and I shake it a little bit. And you can get some little small ones. I really like that color combo. I think I'm gonna add a purple one from the concentrated watercolor. So I'm gonna take this really, really dark purple. Now, these have the drops right on them, if you can see right here. So I'm just gonna get squeeze some of the ink, and then I'm just gonna plop it down. Now these ones are going to give you a much darker color, and they're going to be much more concentrated. So if you wanted it to be less concentrated, you could take just like a palette I'm just going to use right in this tin. I was thinking about actually mixing some colors, so maybe we will take this purple one and see if I can mix it. So as you can see, I mean, I probably didn't even need nearly half as much of this. I'm going to use this bigger brush. So it's very concentrated even there. I'm going to rinse out my brush a little bit before I go in, and I'm going to get maybe one of the blues first off to the side. And you just take the color and you brush it onto the little pan. And this is the fun way to get that watercolor look without really a lot of hard technique, because it's just splattering. So I'm going to take a little bit of that and just kind of mix it in. And then I actually think I'm going to get a little bit of this pink color, and I like to try to put the color off to the side, because then I can bring in the color a little bit like this and just kind of see where it goes. I still feel like it needs a little bit more pink. And because that purple is very concentrated, you would need much more of this. But in order to get a really big splatter, you want quite a bit. There we go. See, that's more of a purple color that I want. Now, it's probably harder for you guys to see. So then I'm going to just take a little bit more water and add it to my thing, because the more water and paint that's on your paintbrush, the more it'll splatter, because this is, I'm going to have to work a little bit hard to get that. Now, for some smaller splatters, and I'll just take a little bit more water, and it will dilute it a little bit, but that color is still there. So I'm gonna just flick my brush a little bit, and then I'm getting some of those. And if it gets in the other colors, because we're using colors that are really kind of close together, they will blend well together. So I'm just going to leave it like that, and that is my splatters. And the key is to have a lot of liquid on your brush to get a nice big splatter, and then if you want some smaller ones, I actually had thought about putting some green in, but I'm not sure. I have a greeny color over here, and I might just flick a little bit of that in there. It has that blue with a little bit of green in it. But so that is it. I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to let it dry. I'm not going to do anything to it, so I'm not going to use any heat gun, because that will spread it out, and unless I wanted it to look that way. And I will probably show you guys a technique where I put some blobs and let the heat gun move it around, and so that you'll get to see that technique. But this will just sit, and the colors that kind of blended together will be there, but they'll definitely be more concentrated.